there we have it. Paulie and Jer podcast, episode 2 of being on YouTube. Very exciting.
YouTube.
I hope everyone enjoyed the first episode on YouTube. It was quite an edit, let's just put it that way, due to some technical problems we had earlier. Last time. Hopefully they've been fixed this time around, because it was a little annoying.
Rough.
It was rough, but but we pushed through, you know, like we always do. Yeah, man. I've made like a realization while during my commutes to work. We've talked about it many times that I commute to work. I commute from our locale in Niagara to Toronto, and planes, trains, and automobiles. Taking away the planes because that's
Looks like that's a bit much.
Yeah.
Maybe taking a plane to Toronto.
Maybe if this podcast really gets off, we'll take a plane. But
to Niagara Falls every day.
Not in our lifetime.
No.
But no. So I guess what I'm getting at is I think my guard is up a little more when I'm in Toronto. Like I feel like when I'm walking or I have my headphones on, so obviously I can't hear anything around me.
First mistake.
Yeah, first mistake.
I'm really wearing defensive and I can't hear shit at all times.
But like, I just feel so. For example, I was walking home the one day after work, and as I'm walking, there's a woman in front of me. She probably around the same age as me, maybe a little older. And I mean, when I'm walking in Toronto, I'm not going slow. Like, this isn't a jaunt for me. This is a get the fuck out of here, I want to go home type deal. So I don't waste my time. I'm fucking booking it. Especially because I like to make a train. There's like an express train that I like to make, so I get home at like a decent hour. You know, because if I don't make it, then I have to wait like another 40 minutes just to get onto another train, which is a pain in the ass.
No thanks.
No. So anyway, so I'm walking down the street, right? And and this lady who's like in front of me, who's walking like pretty quickly, but not as quick as me. So I think she can hear like
I love where this
I think she can hear like me like coming up behind her, right? And she like turns, I think, because she realizes, and I kind of slowed down because I didn't want to like fucking be right behind her. A little creepy. Yeah. But like, so I get up. That sounds really. I wasn't gonna say I get up behind her. So I approach her. I approach her from the rear. Wait, that's bad. Right
near her.
I get closer by walking, and she kind of like turns. She kind of like turns and looks at me, but without breaking stride. Like she turns and like kind of like does like one of these, like looks over her shoulder, and like she gives me the dirtiest look, like kind of like this guy, like, back the fuck off, like, Jesus, like, let me own my own space kind of thing, right?
Right.
But it's so like, I don't know, I kind of just like a car would overtake her, you know, like I merged to the left and then went by her and then merged back in front of her.
Now, did you turn around and look and give her a dirty look on the way?
That's what I should have done. I should have gave her one as I went by, like an angry driver would,
like,
that's going too slow in the speeding lane, you know, like one of those.
I noticed
over.
The look is always like with such disgust. Like, if you ever make eye contact with anyone passing you,
oh yeah,
even when you're going like 130, 40, and you're like, you think you're going fast enough, and you're not for this person, and they go by and there's like absolute, like you got a shitty diaper all over your face or something, like
poopy pants.
What the fuck is wrong?
Yeah, poopy pants.
Poopy pants.
No, man. So like, I guess I wasn't like, I don't know, perturbed by it or anything, but I was just like, it's the first, it's a new word. Okay. It's the first person that, I've walked, like, because most of the time everyone in Toronto kind of walks like no one else is walking around them. Like you mind your own business, you keep your head down and just walk. You're not like looking around, you're not smiling at other people, like you're not like, there's no There's none of that
like
going on.
I feel like it's New York.
Right. Everybody is
an asshole.
Everybody is going somewhere and has a place to be and doesn't care about anybody else around them. But when that lady looked at me, I kind of was like, fuck, like maybe I do need to be mindful about how I walk. Like, is that crazy to say? Like, I don't know. Like, maybe I came up too quickly behind. The fact that she heard me was actually kind of impressive too, because I mean, Toronto's not a quiet city. You know, the street was.
Wait, did you have your headphones on too?
Yeah.
So maybe, well, you're just hearing your what's. You remember the music selection?
I'm listening to a podcast.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes,
I didn't know.
Sometimes
it was
the Paulie and Jared podcast.
Right. I didn't know if it was like Rob Zombie.
Yeah, that's right. Like, that's right.
You're just pumped.
Get out in the bread. Terminating, son.
Yeah, exactly. And then just like you're pumped in the music.
Fucking walk into Dragula, just fucking gonna get to the train station.
I gotta be cautious, like what I listen to sometimes in the car, like when you're driving, like it does affect your driving, even though you think it doesn't.
Hell yeah, it does.
So
man.
I've like compromised on like really calm music, but that's still kind of a little bit upbeat. So it's not like I'm falling asleep at the wheel, but I'm also not trying to get there as fast as possible,
right?
And kill someone. Like you can't listen to dubstep in the car. Like
no.
It
I mean,
seemed like
could,
a good idea.
But...
Oh, this is cool. When it just came out and it was all the rage, fucking blaring. I'm like, you hear that bass in my shitty fucking speaker?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like it's kind of embarrassing.
It's interesting that you mentioned that too, because I think people are ignorant to the amount of volume of music that people can actually hear outside of your car. So like for example, like I always make fun of my wife because she always rolls up to our driveway, and I can fucking hear her music from inside the house. She's playing it so loudly, and I'm like. I could even like sometimes tell what song she's listening to.
Exactly what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. And so she walks.
Just finish the song, like singing the lyrics, and she comes in the door, like, I'd be like, turn it down.
Actually, sometimes I'll put on our Bluetooth speaker, and then I'll put that song on. So when she comes inside, it's the same fucking song.
Yeah.
So she'll be like, "How are you? You did?" What? And I'm like, "I can hear the fucking music from outside."
Okay.
Turn it down.
Okay.
But no, like I'm fucking guilty of it too. Like, you know, and as you say, depending on what music you're listening to when you're driving, you know, it can get pretty intense. You know.
But then there's a flip side of it too. Like, I don't know if people might take offense to this, but here it is, and here I am. Here I go. But listen to dubstep, and I don't know why. I don't know if we've even covered this before, but for me, the slower people are walking or in motorized wheelchairs or any of these things, and the faster the music is that you're listening to, the better that they seem to go together. Have you noticed that?
I have not, but that's interesting.
Here's something you do.
Yeah.
Just play a really fast, like, even like a drum and bass, like just something that's just like, it's so fast and what the hell's going on. And then just like... driving around, looking out your window, and you'll always find someone in a motorized wheelchair going 2 miles an hour, but how perfectly they go to the music. Like the first time I noticed this, I don't know, I was really in a goofy mood, and it was really funny to me. I actually had to pull over and like turn it off as I laughed. And it was so stupid because it was so perfect, and I'm like, why is that? And then start thinking of music videos though, too. Yeah. Like all these crazy music videos, they're always doing that crazy, everything's in slow-mo and stuff, but it's going with it. It's like you're just watching an edited music video already.
I'm just picturing,
like, and there's like,
and he's like a mile an hour,
like just perfect to it. It'll kill you. It kills me every time. I'm like, and I always wanted to be like, I gotta film this so somebody else can see the humor that. But I'm like, but I will not. I'm not gonna film some poor person into fucking doing their thing out there who has no knowledge that I'm filming them and I'm making a video, and you know, I'm not gonna be an asshole that way. But I wanted to so bad because I'm like, no, I don't think anyone gets it. To me, like I'll tell someone and be like, oh, okay, until you see it happening, it is. It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, I think that's
putting
pretty
people
funny.
to music.
Of course,
it's hilarious.
But yeah, that's that's pretty funny.
It has to be extremely aggressive over the top, like it's like someone going and like hitting all the bumps on the sidewalk. And I don't know.
Just going
I think
real
when
slow.
my brother, he gets it because we'll go get a coffee or something, and I feel our humor is very similar when it comes to stuff like that, like kind of outside the realm of just like normal humor. I guess is what I'm going. And he's looking at him, just like, John, look at this guy. He's going to the music perfect. And he's like, oh my God, he is. And he's like, then he'll turn it up and we're both just like driving by. Like, I don't know.
It's almost like making fun of those like slow motion, like action montages where like someone's doing something in very slow motion, but the music is like super, super high intensity. So
yeah,
like,
exactly.
So for example,
exactly.
like I don't know, like I mean, I instantly think of the movie Road Trip, where all the guys are walking towards the school to find that videotape that they sent or whatever, and they're walking in slow motion, and like there's this wicked song playing, and like it's super cool, and then DJ Qualls or whatever just trips on his own legs and and like falls in like slow motion, right? But it's like supposed to seem super cool, right?
Exactly.
So like that, oh my God, that shit.
I love that stuff.
No, that shit's so funny.
It's hilarious. And on that note,
oh my God, what is that other one too? Where I think it's Will Ferrell or something, and like someone's like out of nowhere he just sneezes like in slow motion, like it's supposed to be super cool, and you're not supposed to break.
Is that that I don't know if it's a cop movie or
it might be the other guys.
Other guys,
maybe, yeah. When he just goes. He sneezes in slow motion. Yeah, super cool. Oh my God, that's funny.
Well, I went down another rabbit hole, and everyone should do the same. I forget exactly what it's called, but you can just put in movies or shows or whatever without music, where the guy just edits the music out and then he dubs in just like really silent shit. Yeah. Like walking and coughing and like, but how some movies are like so reliant on the music, right?
Yeah.
And it did my favorite, and when I was at the car dealership, I actually played this video multiple times for people I worked with just for the sound of it, and we would just let like on Dead. I would just turn it up full blast on it, like, and we'd just all laugh. But it was Star Wars. And you know when they're going in to get all their awards and stuff, and big hall and stuff, and it's like dun, 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 like all this crazy music, and they're walking, and there's a huge crowd, and they go up and they get their awards. The whole scene is just music and them accepting awards, and you can't hear them talk because no one's talking. It's this big epic moment, and then at the end, Chewbacca, and it's over. Yeah. Well, this guy, when he edits this thing, it's a masterpiece. How awkward that scene actually is without any music. Yeah. It'll start with the music, like you think it's just going to do the same thing, and then it just cuts right out. And just them walking. And it's like this, they record the sound of the room. And just like them just.
Oh, like their little subtle walking. I remember this. Yeah, okay.
And just like.
People are coughing.
And my favorite part, and it's the part I would have put on loop, I had it timed, and I remember, I think it's 26 seconds of this video. Like, I have it in my mind. I would always go there and just play it. And it's just Chewbacca, because he's the only one I think that makes sounds throughout this whole thing. And he just, does his Chewbacca sound. And when they're redubbing the sound, as a viewer, I just assume someone is going to try and impersonate Chewbacca. Right. Doing his sound when they dub it in. Mm-hmm. But the funniest part and the big, huge curveball is the guy that dubs his sound doesn't sound anything like Chewbacca. He's just screaming, and it's so much funnier for that song. He's like, ah! And it kills me because you're so focused, like, oh, it's going to be Chewbacca, but it isn't. No. And I'm telling you, hundreds of times I played it, just that clip alone, and every time we laugh. Yeah. It's impossible to not laugh. And them looking at each other, even down to the sounds of, the awkward like half smiles and stuff. It's like the sound of the lips is like everything is dubbed into an intricate amount, and just like even the robots, like they're just like
like a creaking sound. Oh
like
my
they need
God.
like a WD-40 or something.
That's hilarious, dude.
It's incredible.
Holy shit.
Spider-Man, like the when he's dancing down the street. The stupidest movie ever, by the way. When he's dancing down, he's all like emo and stuff. And he's going all dark, and all the girls. He's trying to use it.
Yeah, that's so
And
terrible.
doing it, but take out all the music, and it's just him going. He's like,
yeah, like it. Oh god, it's incredible. Like
it's so good.
It's incredible. Like
what a great idea.
What music brings to a scene. You know, like you take that shit out, and it just becomes an awkward and strange, and also comical. Situation. You know, a lot of times.
Which is another thing to look for too, from an acting standpoint too. Like, like those guys when they're doing their scenes and stuff, they don't have
the music.
The music and stuff too. Yeah. A lot of those scenes, like unless they're dancing and it's a
right,
like it's a music scene. Of course, they need to be on time. Mm-hmm. But like things are like just do this. You're gonna walk.
Yeah.
Get your reward or whatever, and it's gonna be all drawn out and look around and smile like all these cues and marks and steps they have to hit, and we'll put in the music after. So, like even those guys making the edits and stuff too, watching that over and over again, just like with no sound, and like what the hell do we do here? What piece of music are we gonna use here? Like that's such a daunting thing.
Yeah.
Anyone who makes like soundtrack music too, like it really affects the whole scene. Like if it's the song just is weird. I forget, it was this movie, it had Tom Cruise in it. It was an iconic movie. He was like a lawyer and something goes wrong and he's being framed, and there's a lot of running, which I find in a lot of Tom Cruise movies. He's always running somewhere.
I wonder if it's actually called Running Man. It's probably not.
I don't think so. But just Tom Cruise is always running all the time in every movie. Fucking Mission Impossible.
I think there's a montage of that on YouTube, actually.
Or was it Speed or no? Or that was
no, it's Keanu Reeves.
But running the new Mummy remake, it's just
dude, he probably runs a country marathon during on every Mission Impossible movie, every single one, and it's never a jog. It's always full tilt. But that's probably because he's really small, so it just takes him longer to
more
get
steps,
places.
and it looks way more intense.
Right? Yeah.
But yeah, and this movie, yeah, he's a lawyer and whatever. But I remember distinctly the music being so out of place that we were watching it in school, in English literature. I remember, and it was one of the books. And we got the video today, and as a reward for the class, you know how they bring in your little cassette and watch a video, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, we're watching a video today! It's great! Does it get better than this? It's great!" So we're watching this shit. And it's just like, it's supposed to be a dark tone, I guess, and things are supposed to be mysterious and stuff. But the music that accompanied this was like raw, improvisational jazz on a honky-tonk piano. Like it just didn't make any sense. Like it was almost, and I kept making little comments because that's what I do, oddly enough. And I'm just making jokes to
that is
work,
odd.
but I'm just like, it literally sounds like there's a guy. Like I'm just waiting for the camera to pan over just enough, to see the guy like playing the piano beside him, like he'd be running and being stabbed in the heart, and like an awful death scene. Like, oh my god, what's he gonna do? It's like, is this a cartoon or is this real? Like, who said that's the music? This is gonna be drama infused explosion, and some guy's like, I can slap the keys pretty good. Perfect.
I feel like that'd be a funny like comedy skit where like
absolutely.
somebody is the sound or composer for a movie, and they're looking for certain tones and certain things. They're looking for stuff, and everything they give him is way off base. But not even just way off base, but like almost cartoony, almost like ridiculous, like
that is a hilarious scene too. And it could be like, let's do it again. You got something else? Yeah, I did.
I got lots.
I got lots of stuff.
Oh, you no idea what I got.
And it's always the same scene. It could be like the most intense scene, and just like song after song is always completely not even in the same category.
Oh my god, I'd love that. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Fuck. That's hilarious.
I think it was what's his name? I don't know if he goes by Junkie XL or whatever, but he does so much music for all the big, huge ass movies. Like it's always the same guy, like killing it, right? So good for him. But he made a comment, and it makes sense when you break it down too. From a music standpoint, it's like only the songs for each scene or whatever it is, always think of if there was an actual band there, how many instruments could fit in that space.
Right.
Like if it's really a small area, like don't have this whole orchestra playing this crazy music and stuff, and vice versa. If it's this huge goddamn battle scene and hundreds of people on screen, like that would be like the whole band and having like, and not having like sparse instruments and stuff. And it's like, that makes total sense though. Because like, think about how like just like an interrogation scene and two people in a room and whatever. Like when there's like, think of a gigantic orchestra music going on. That would be so out of place.
It's way out of place.
It's like, what is going on? Like, it's not that intense, you know? But
yeah,
I think that, and that's another Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. They do a ton of music now for movies and are getting awards and shit for that. They're very good at that too. Very sparse. All the movies they tend to score are like really condensed spaces and stuff too, which they thrive in, like sparse instruments, and it just makes sense.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
totally made sense. Like totally reworks your whole brain if you were in that field. Like, yeah, you're not in like hundreds of people in the same room playing strings.
Yeah, there's only a certain
hitting the big fucking drums in the background.
Yeah, there's only certain movies that where that kind of orchestra shit works, and
Star Wars and shit.
Star
like when
Wars,
they're,
like Hans Zimmer and John Williams.
Hans Zimmer, I think that's who
John Williams. Like John Williams does all Spielberg movies, it seems.
Yeah.
But again, full on orchestras, you know. But again, that makes sense because they're epic movies. Like they're movies that require that kind of epic sound, you know. Not that you can't get an epic sound out of, you know, some electronic equipment, obviously, because I mean, I think there's probably a lot of movies out there that are created and composed
it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah, shit, yeah.
Paying thousands of people or just one guy who, just has all the synths and whatever. Like you'd be surprised at how real everything sounds
for sure.
now if you have the computer, obviously, to do it. It's always easier to. There's a lot of nuances you can't do. In the computer world with instruments and stringed instruments that you can as a person, obviously. So I don't think that'll ever go away, but
yeah,
it's pretty,
we'll see.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Auto-tune can get the fuck out of here though. Anytime.
Let's talk about auto-tune.
Oh no.
When we get back, I want to talk about it, but we're going to take a break.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
We're back, baby.
Careful.
Careful. Yeah, so autotune. You're not a fan, eh? Not a big fan of autotune?
I hate it.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
it's used a lot.
I know. On everything now.
It seems.
Like if it was just a joke thing, like this song's supposed to sound funny and people just singing out a key and just having the autotune have to correct it on purpose, and the sound that makes is really funny, I think, if you put it to extreme settings. Because I have autotune just because why wouldn't you? Like it took 2 seconds. I'm like, oh, it's free. Let's give this thing a whirl. And I don't know. It just, it doesn't even shrink the gap for talent that people think it does. It's so obvious that you use autotune, and it just, I don't know. People are obsessed with perfect pitch and everything. It's like, but just work on that naturally.
Yes.
And those singers and shit are a dying breed.
They are. There's a lot.
And everybody's
more...
very like.
There's a lot more fixing going on in the editing studio, I feel, when it comes to singing.
Over-processed everything. And it's like, and I'm an over-processor of things. Like, I understand, but it's like, I don't want to be. It's just like sometimes if something's like not good, you do your thing, but I would never still use autotune unless it's supposed to be funny, and like, you know, this one uses autotune to the extreme. Like, like everything just sounds ridiculous. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like those dollar store tubes. I think we talked about that before. The sound it makes? That's what autotune reminds me of. Yeah.
Yeah. Yo, I used to fucking love those. I used to fucking love those things.
I know, but get them out of music. Like, just put it over your voice. It sounds great. Does it?
Imagine if like that's like how they decided to develop autotune. Like some guy just sitting at home and he's like, "Oh man, I forgot about this toy. Cool.
Hold on, listen to this. I'm gonna sing and it's just sing at the same time." Wow, autotune was born. There's another skit. See, they're coming like rapid fire.
We're a skit creating fucking engine. That was hard. That was hard. That was hard to hear in the headphones. Just so you know.
Was it? Okay, well that's not bad. I'm sure it'll look good on the camera.
I think so.
What the hell was I going on about?
I don't know, man. Auto-tune.
You know the first time it was used, right?
No, actually, I have no idea. This is great. I'd love to know.
Sure.
Learn anything. Do you believe in love after love?
One note. Believe.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's a good point. Yeah.
And this is Cher we're talking
about. I got the song
Who
right,
can
too.
sing?
Who can actually sing? Yeah. Although I think she was like 50 or almost 60.
But it was just hilarious. Like I can't do that note apparently. And they're like, "Oh, we got this new technology that we've created just for that one particular note that you can't hit. We're gonna throw that in and see how it works."
I feel like
that's where it was born.
I feel like I heard it during that song a lot than just on that note, though.
It's well. Here's the thing too. There's
I can feel something inside myself.
There's a lot of things that go over top of things, obviously,
yes.
right? And vocal processing chains that you can make. There's so many different things, and you'll hear from different singers too on their albums. Like, why does this sound like this? And like having a little bit of, like, for example, like reverb and air and like a little bit of an echo, but nothing too crazy, like Coldplay and stuff like that. Like if you listen to the vocals and stuff, like he's a good singer, obviously, but like afterwards, like there's always this ringing and almost like he's in a tunnel a little bit. It's very subtle. But it's like if that wasn't there, it wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't have the same sound. It wouldn't. There's a lot of, and every vocalist for the most part is like that, right? This Cher song sounds like there was probably like it's like a chorus, which is kind of like a little bit of movement to the voice, I guess a little bit, right? And it just adds almost like a synthy type of quality,
right,
but very subtle in the back for that song. People just, everything's to the max now effects wise, so it's so obvious that it's like, okay, well, I have that preset. Like it's just like no one tries to just, I liked when it was just like kind of like little subtle things that you have in there, and it just makes it sound a bit nicer, and you know. But
now it seems like they're using it like
as
for an entire song.
Thing. It's like because they're trying to mask that they can't sing.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that you say that because obviously Post Malone is like a huge artist right now, right?
And he's aware of that too, though. And he said it.
That's what I thought was funny is that I think he was on Jimmy Fallon or something, and they're like, so like, how do you create like these crazy notes or like this this unbelievable sound? And he's like, auto-tune. Like everybody started laughing, but like he's just like that's it. He kind of laughed like out of because everyone else was, but I think he's legitimately serious that it's because it's auto-tune, man. Like. But then that makes me think like how come we all aren't multi-million-dollar award like artists, like, you know what I mean? Like if he is so honest about it, I mean, I guess maybe he's writing his songs, maybe that's the difference. I don't really know, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, what the fuck, like
it's all confidence,
and
it's all just doing it.
It's just crazy to me that
because this is the problem. I think we've done it multiple times, but we're very critical of ourselves, right? So when it comes to doing shit like this, you know, for the most part, it's like, I don't know about that. I'm not going to release that. I'm not going to finish that. I'm not going to whatever that. And then that just like is nowhere forever. I feel like these guys just like, yeah, that's what I'm about, and throw it up there. And sometimes it's shit. But sometimes there's someone fucking who loves it, or people, millions of people that love it, and it's like, okay, well, whatever. It's all confidence in all aspects of everything.
Yeah,
and it's like, I feel like I have it sometimes, but for the most part, I'm too critical of myself, and I was talking to my brother and everything about this too, and he gets mad at me all the time. He's like, just did like fuck what you just did there was awesome. Like put that up. I'm like, no. He's like, oh, I wish. He's like, I wish you just weren't like that. He's like, because you're really good at these certain things. He's like, wait, you don't think so, and so you just don't do it, or vice versa. And he's got the same qualities too in certain things where he doesn't. And I can see it in you sometimes too. Just there's certain things you want to do. And I'm like, well. it's not good enough. I don't think so. We'll just kind of leave it. And it's like, I don't know. And these people that just are pumping out shit, and sometimes there's so many artists out there. Frankly,
yeah,
it's garbage, but it's garbage to us.
Yeah,
and some people might.
Some people might like it.
There's so many people, so many tastes that like certain things that you're like, I don't understand why, but it's there, and they're fucking billionaires. You know, like
yeah,
well, not
that's the thing.
but like millionaires. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, they're making money.
It's not hard as it was.
I think there's a record in here that needs to be changed somewhere. See what I mean? See what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
But no, you're right, man. You're right. You're right.
But I feel like maybe that's a mental issue.
Oh boy.
Like, here we go. No, but I just mean like,
boy.
when you're so aware of it.
Yeah.
And you still don't.
You still don't change the way that
like
you.
Or maybe I'm just that lazy. I don't fucking know what it is.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's a very weird thing.
I don't know. But
sorry about that.
no, it's fine, man. It's fine. I'm completely sometimes just completely baffled at the people that are artists, claim to be artists out there putting out music. Sometimes you kind of, I don't know. Sometimes it kind of confuses me, but it is what it is. We're not the ones to decide who can make the music and who has the ability to make the music. But a lot of times you got some really good producers out there and some really good, I don't know, sound engineers out there.
People behind the scenes.
People behind the scenes. People behind
the face of these things that are like, wow, how they do it. It's like, well, they don't.
Yeah.
No, yeah. It's these. It's this person, this person, this person.
People behind the microphone, not necessarily in front of it.
I do appreciate though the people that do it all.
Yeah,
and they're definitely still out there, and
yeah,
and I appreciate like for different things. Like if you're doing everything top to bottom, like that's a really tedious and annoying thing to do.
Oh, big time, yeah.
Like I wish I could just be the singer,
yeah,
and be really good at singing and go in there and
for
do my things, and then like come back a week later. Yeah, here's all the music, everything's all together, and here's your finished song. What do you think of this? It's like, wow. Like,
yeah, cool.
Did a decent job there, and you elevated it, and perfect, and it's done.
Yeah.
Fuck. It sucks when you're fixated on every aspect of it. You're like, oh god, wish I didn't have to do that part.
Yeah, I feel like with all this and stuff, I feel like I mean, obviously we put time into this.
Yeah.
But there's part of me that wishes I had more time to do like other shit, like even just like, as you say, like little videos, you know, throw videos on YouTube, do stupid things like you guys used to do when we were younger.
Yeah.
When you actually had a lot of free time to yourself because you weren't working or, you know, doing
like
other
I was,
things.
but not. We're kids.
Yeah, we were younger, right? So you had a lot of less priorities to deal with. But no, I think about that a lot. I think about like, yeah, putting more time into doing that kind of stuff. But this takes up a fair amount of time as it is. So, and also I don't know. I find myself idea wise on the short end of that stick. So it's hard to be creative sometimes, you know, and
especially consistently.
Yeah, that's it. That's the thing too. Like, sure, you come up with one idea or two ideas, but to be consistent,
that is the difference between
to have good consistent ideas.
Yeah.
That's true. It's true. Yeah, I never thought of it.
Or the Leafs, because man, are they good some nights, and then man, are they absolute trash.
Are we really gonna get into this?
Well, we're just talking about, as soon as I heard the word consistency. I'm like, you know who would be
Jekyll and Hyde
unbelievable if they were consistent?
Who?
The Leafs.
Oh, okay. I thought we were moving on to something else.
No, that's it.
I was
but
like,
they're not.
okay.
But let's move on. Let's not talk if we only got, an hour. We could do
a lot. We could do days with it.
Okay. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
But consistency in my brain just like, Wouldn't it be nice? I'm like, shut up.
Going back to like the thing that we talked about earlier at the beginning, have you ever had a weird confrontation or something with like a stranger, like in terms of
Every day of my
tell
life.
us about it. I want to hear everything
A weird
there is to
thing.
know.
I got one.
Okay,
I got one.
Okay, go.
I was almost going to
Quickly
keep
while
it.
I hit record again.
Okay. I was almost going to do it
Stupid fucking camera.
in one of like my comedy set coming up. But then I realized it's not kind of related to what I want to talk about, so I'm just going to stick to what I don't want to get too many ideas up there and juggle and run out of time again. So I'll just say this here. And it was just, it's the way I am, and I can't help it sometimes. If people set up jokes for me, I'm gonna attack it.
Yeah.
Right? And it just,
Well, of course.
even if it's someone I don't know, which is, this is the case.
Okay.
That happened in this one. And this is why it was weird.
Yeah,
because I just assume everyone has my humor. But they don't.
Not always.
No.
Not
so
always.
here we go. I'm going to get an ice cap at Tim Hortons. Simple
Delicious.
scenario. Down the street from me. Boom. I it doesn't matter. So I'm going there and they don't have ice caps. So I whatever. So I go to another one. So they always see me at the same Tim Hortons because it's right down.
Right. It's like right down the street from
So
you.
I went to a different one. I've never been to this one before. I was on the lane there. I don't think I've ever been to that one. Somehow I've always avoided that one because where I've lived, I've always never been close to that one. So I am. So I go there and I order an ice cap. Pull up to the window, please. So for some reason, I pulled up too far from the window. It's a simple thing, but regardless, I was a little far from the window. And I was going to just like back up, adjust myself, and be closer to the window. But it was pretty packed at this particular Tim Hortons. In the front and the back, I couldn't really move. I was sandwiched in, like where I was where I was going to have to be.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, whatever. I'm close enough, I guess, right? So then the window opens. That'll be, $4. Okay. And she's like so far from me. Like the more I could have just opened the door. Like that's how far I was. Like I'm like, I should have just got out of the car. But regardless, she's stretching. So I'm like, so now I'm stretching and we're like,
oh God,
look like, what's that fucking, oh God, it's in the chapel and everything, the famous art, and they're like touching the fingers. And
oh, like stained glass window type shit?
Yeah. Like that's, like we're doing this
like in
pose
churches?
basically.
Yeah.
And we're both like hyper extending
That's so
our
funny.
arms to get it there. Like we couldn't have been farther apart. And she's like, and she goes, making a pregnant lady stretch, huh? And I'm just like, oh, sorry about that. I should have got out. I feel bad, right? She's fucking like ready to explode, okay? And she's fucking like, I'm of all people, I'm making stretch this amount of distance. It's this brain who shouldn't even be at work, in my opinion, with how like it's coming. This baby's coming,
she's
right?
probably almost there, yeah.
And she goes, don't apologize. It wasn't your fault. You didn't get me pregnant.
Good point. Valid and accurate point.
Now, what would you have said before I tell you what I said? What would you say? Would it just kind of be like, take it and just fucking drive away?
I probably would have just maybe chuckled it off and left. But I could have a feeling you did not do that.
I feel like 99% of people would have just,
yeah.
Thanks, have a good day.
Yeah, you're right about that one.
But what I said,
oh God, oh God,
I go, I guess you don't remember.
Oh my, holy
goes,
shit, man.
Pardon?
Nothing.
I'm not gonna say it again.
He just leaves.
I go, another.
Holy
she's like,
shit,
she's
dude.
like, no, I know. And she kind of laughed and thought it was funny. I'm like, I am really sorry, by the way, that I just said that. I'm like, I'm just a goof, and I just say shit, and I'm like, and I'm like trying to like I'm being filmed or something.
Right.
Like this is gonna come up 10 years from now. Like,
Right.
He was so offensive when he said that, but I was just like, why am I like this? Like. I didn't even think. There was no pause. There was no like, I got a good one.
Instant.
It would just like, guess you don't remember.
Just an instant.
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm very sorry about that. We've never met.
Oh, I can't believe.
At least awake. No. See,
Whoa,
it could have been a lot
worse.
worse. So I just said, yeah, thank you. And I drove away and I was just driving away and I was just laughing. I'm like,
It's like you're a real life.
She's telling every single person that she works with that what just happened, and like
it's like you're living the movie Liar Liar like your entire life. It's just what that is.
It is.
It is just your conscience cannot stay dormant,
right?
Or your alternate. I don't know. The other side of you, the little thing on the side, that says, yeah, you probably don't remember. A lot of people will hold that in. Not you.
Nope.
Not you. This pen is royal blue.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So
it's
that's hilarious, though, man. Oh my god.
And then to follow it up,
was she like surprised? Like, did she even?
Oh yeah.
Oh okay. Because was she like?
Even I was surprised.
Yeah.
That I said that. I was like,
Oop.
I am so sorry. Not to be disrespectful, but to follow it up, the next day I'm at work, and I was what's called the breaker, and you go from section to section breaking people, and then even the host and whatever, any job that's happening on that floor, you just go through them until breaks are done, and you're usually done.
It's a very accurate name.
Yeah,
for that,
because you
makes it. Yeah,
it's great. So I'm breaking the host, and at our place, it's kind of a weird host stand, and it's kind of like it's behind a pole, and no one really even sees it. And for the most part, people just walk in, sit down, and you're like, okay, there's a host stand over here, and you bring them the menus or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So it was pretty slow, and I was just kind of. It's a sports bar, so all the sports are on all the things, and I was checking my schedule on the computer and looking at the Leaf were on losing, so I was watching that, and then. This old man goes by. He looks like he's 80-something years old. Jet black hair and just huge chops, like black chops here. Like clearly an Elvis impersonator. Only reason someone would look this ridiculous, right? But it's just that. There's nothing else Elvis. Just normal getup. But it's like, so you keep that all the time? Anyways, so he walks by and he gives me the standard, we both look at each other like by accident, and I just go,
yeah.
And he goes,
how you doing?
Not even how you doing, just
a. Mm-hmm.
And then
like that's in your head,
right?
Yeah,
he goes by, he walks by. I'm like, well, out of that one, and then all of a sudden I feel a presence like backing up. Like I'm like, oh my god, he's coming back.
Here we go.
Say something.
Yeah.
And he goes, he looks at me, he goes, I bet you don't. I bet you never thought you see an 85-year-old looking like this. And I just, once again, without hesitation, said, for good reason. And he goes, his face, he was so like, bet you never thought you see an 85-year-old like this. I'm like, for good reason.
Yeah.
And he just went,
there was a reason for that. So upset.
And he went down and he's like,
oh my god.
He didn't say a word. He just walked by and went to the washroom.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, I just ruined whatever mojo that guy had.
You just ruined that guy's day. He was so happy. He was having a great day.
Bet you never. And he's like, bet you never thought you seen any from your life. I hope not ever again. And he's like,
you just fucking put him right back down to where he should have been. That's hilarious,
he looked
dude.
Ridiculous.
Right.
Like it wasn't even like
he's just asking
just
for
men,
point,
kind
right?
of mix it in. It was just like,
how dare he dress like that?
Black paint. And the chops, man, were so like they weren't even like clean. You know what I mean? Like just bushy. They were just like.
Mm-hmm.
It was unbelievable.
It looked like he had a pair of animals on his face. But
yes. It just, I don't know. When I get there, when I'm getting older and shit starts going gray, whatever, I'm leaving it.
Yeah, just let it go.
Let it go.
Yeah,
and you see that all the time, and it's salt and pepper look, and you look very distinguished and kind of cool. Like, if you just let it go.
Agreed.
Guys that just like try to hold on to dear life of what they wear, like just
there's a certain point where dyeing your hair as a dude, I think just
it's not even a thing.
Doesn't
anymore.
look natural anymore.
No,
you know, like I mean, hair dye in a sense makes your hair look somewhat fake, depending on if you're doing it yourself or doing it at a barber shop or whatever. But like, yeah, man. I mean, I think just let it go, just let it be. Like, I mean, in the end. As you say, so the salt and pepper look is a very distinguished and cool look, in my opinion. But
no, every time you see it, like, and I think women love that shit
like
too.
It more, yeah.
Like it's awesome, like,
for sure.
It's just I don't understand it.
Shows a little bit of maturity.
Yeah,
and manliness. And
Why you look at me like, show us a man. You've been around, huh?
Yeah. It's interesting though, the difference between like the stigma, not stigma, but like the stereotypes surrounding dyeing hair. Like women do it all the time. Even that, like, let's say middle-aged ladies who are, some like to let the hair turn gray and others like to dye it for a long time, like until they're very
but
very,
I don't know,
very
it feels
older.
Not as weird with females.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like it's
but for men it's
okay for females to do it. Yeah, whereas for males it's like, why are you dyeing your hair, man? Like, just let it go. Like, just leave it. Like, you're fine. Some people have insecurities about that stuff though. So
one time I dyed my hair black, and I'm like, oh, this will be cool.
Oh, dude, I made some mistakes.
But then I did it, and then I remember, I'm like, oh, my eyebrows are still kind of light, and so I remember I'm like, is there a way I could do this without these looking ridiculous? And she's like, oh yeah.
Oh, she dyed your eyebrows too?
Would it like a little bit and did it, and it was on, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh boy.
And then boom, there we go. And then it's over. I'm like,
were they really dark?
They look like caterpillars.
Oh god.
Like, it looked ridiculous. How can I describe this one? I think I had a tan at the time too. Which I'm very white, and so I was darker, and then I had the black. I was all dark. I look like Middle Eastern all of a sudden.
Oh,
which there's nothing wrong with that, but it was such polar opposite of what I look like. And then I remember, I think I went to Kyle's house for something, and I go over right away.
You're asking for it when you go to Kyle's. You're asking for it.
You know how it is. Like, it's never
asking for it.
There's no waiting to roast.
No.
It's just like, opens the door.
Instant.
So the eyebrows, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm like,
right.
Yeah, well, and it's like, what am I going to do? Like, I can't just shave them off. Do I dye it back to what I think? I'm like, and then I just have a whole other set of problems. So I left it until I felt so stupid the rest, and then I'm working at friggin' every day and just like looking like an idiot.
I made some.
I don't think
I
never dyed my hair again.
No,
after that.
No, and I mean, you don't have to.
Or my eyebrows. That was a one-off.
Maybe that's always a tough thing. Like dyeing your eyebrows, like because of obviously where they are. Like, it's so like you can't not but look right at them, right? Like, you have no choice but to look right at them. And I've made some questionable calls in terms of like changing my hair.
Terrible.
Yeah, like I mean I was younger, so fuck it. But like, and you're obviously influenced by, your siblings or things you see on TV or whatever. But I had like frosted tips for a while.
Ooh, frosted tips.
Yeah, like, not proud of it, but I had it.
I remember. Yeah,
it's one of those things where you put the cap on and they pull all the hair out and shit.
Yeah, but and everyone looks like what's his name, Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell.
Oh God, yeah.
The only other time hair wise that was ridiculous, which looked, in my opinion, really good at first, is I chemically straightened my hair.
Oh God.
Oh my! What was I thinking? But this one, I was an acting thing, and we're getting headshots done and whatever. And I don't know why I did that, because that was going to be a very temporary thing. So these are the headshots I'm using at auditions. I'm going to have curly fucking stupid hair all the time, not chemically straightened perfect hair.
Right.
So I don't know what I was thinking that way. That was because I'd have to get new headshots anyways, because keep showing up and be like, it's not the same person. But anyways, I chemically straightened my hair.
So what does that do exactly? Like how straighter was your hair?
They literally.
I don't even remember that.
Put like fertilizer and shit on your head. Like it's terrible.
Go to Home Depot and they
go. Yeah, no. I had to go to a specific barber, because a lot of places won't even do it because it's so dangerous. But I was like, I just won't do it the full.
Dangerous.
It it feels like your head's on fire. It does.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this feels weird. Like, okay, take it off. So that's what happened. So they did this chemically straightened thing, and it's gonna burn a little bit, but we're gonna take it off after so much time and not leave it on what we typically would, and blah blah blah. They're explaining it. So we're doing it, and oh yeah, it's on fucking fire. And I'm like, oh my god, like my scalp is gonna be red. Like it felt like this is not a good idea. I'm like, okay, just that's good. Take it off. Like it's on fire. Like just take it off. So she takes it off, and it's fine. I had straight hair, like completely flat, like all these little puffs and curls and all this shit was gone.
Yeah.
Just like there was weight to my hair. It just went down. And I did whatever I wanted and it stayed that way. Like chemically straightened hair. It was very weird because I've never obviously had that hair. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then they like style it, and you could style it completely different because your hair's just completely rested and just flat.
Right.
And you just do whatever the fuck you want with it. And it was like, it stayed that way. And and everything was like perfectly like straight lines almost. It was very weird, but it was kind of cool. I'm like, holy shit. Like, this is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Why do people always, like, it's funny, the opposite too. People who have really straight hair trying to get curly hair and all that shit. So it was great for the first couple of days. Like, all I did is get compliments on it. Like, wow, like that. It looked completely different. Like I didn't even look like the same person. And it was really cool. And then I'm taking headshots and everything, and the headshots look really good and whatever. Well, the fact that I didn't have it on so long is my curls started coming back pretty quick because it's supposed to last a few months or so.
Oh.
But mine was like maybe like half a month, like that. And then my curls started coming back, but they started coming back in the front and working their way. So all of a sudden, I have really straight hair that's weighted down, and then these crazy curls that are coming back with a vengeance. So now it's like I can't get rid of the curls in the front and the back. So it's like it looked like I was like wrapping it up like a little flip curl in the front.
Doing it on purpose.
But everything else was flat. And I looked ridiculous. And I couldn't like style it because it was flat here and weighted. And the other one was curly, and I couldn't do anything with it. So I'm like, I had like this puff here all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is fucking like, am I permanently like this? And it came back pretty quick. And then I had all my curls and shit back. I was like, oh. Yeah, it was cool. It lasted, but it's too expensive, too dangerous, and I never do that. It doesn't even last that long. And the curls that I have are actually obnoxious if I... Like, even when it looks like I've done nothing to my hair up here, like I rolled out of bed and it was like that. No, I had to do shit. You did, yeah. Because my hair is ridiculous. When it gets, it's puffy, it looks ridiculous. Yeah. I can't even describe it. It's like a fro. I actually can get a full-on fro. You can get a literal fro. But not a cool fro.
No. A kind of like...
Really all over the place, shaky, fro. Messy fro. Yeah, it's not like no Afro samurai.
My dad got a perm in the 70s, and he got a fro for his wedding, and I love that wedding photo. It's my favorite photo of him.
He had a fro just for his wedding?
Well, no, but like he had a fro. Oh. And he must have had it done, like well done for his wedding, because like it is a thing of beauty, and. Yeah, it's something else. Nice. And not looking at that photo now and then looking at him today, I don't know. I kind of like picture it on him, and I'm like, that's like some of the funniest shit. Exactly, exactly that.
Disco stew.
Disco stew is ready for you.
That's hilarious. I could see it too.
When you mentioned the burning of the scalp,
I just thinking about it. What I did that for.
My brother's ex-girlfriend. She had like literal hair dye, but like it's a bottle of it, and it, you're not really supposed to apply it directly on your fucking head. You're supposed to like cap it and then pull it all out and then bleach it, right?
Yeah.
And do it in sections. My brother dyed his hair blonde, my older brother, and I think at some point I was just like, you know what, fuck it, like I'm gonna do it too. We left it on a little too long, and my hair basically went bleach, like white, almost white. But I also had blisters on my scalp because it was on there way too long, and then it burned my scalp. So it hurt a little.
It's vicious.
Yeah.
And probably itchy and everything too. And then it's like, but then you don't want to do anything because,
dude. And then it took a really long time to grow back to my original color, to the point where I actually did it at a really bad time. I was in grade 12 in high school, and I had graduation photos coming up in in a couple months.
Yeah.
And yeah, I ended up actually whenever you look at my grade 12 graduation photo, my hair is not the right color. It's dyed. I dyed it back to being brown, but it wasn't the right color of brown. So it just looks like I can see it instantly. Like it looks ridiculous, you know?
Yeah. Like a lighter brown.
Yes.
Like a what is that? Chester.
Exactly that. So it's like
like a tree type of brown.
I was just about to say I have like a color of wood on my hair. My head, you know what I mean?
I can see it just a little too bright.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that pine?
It's like oh, that's pine. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's mahogany. It's beautiful.
That's brutal.
Yeah. Anyway.
One thing too before we close her out.
Sure.
I don't have it anymore, and I wish I did. And I made the mistake of letting my film partner in high school, Derek, borrow it because he thought it was so funny. He just had to show his parents and everything, and then he fell off the face of the earth, and I haven't talked to him since.
Because the earth's flat now. Do you know that?
What's that?
The earth's flat now.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, that's because he fell off the face of the... Never mind.
That's why there's mountains around it.
Uh-huh. Anyway, what is this
thing? It is... I redid my graduation photo.
Oh.
I convinced them.
Oh.
And I put on a wig. And they didn't realize it was a wig. And it was... Oh, God. I would say closer to Weird Al Yankovic style hair.
Like long, curly...
It was a curly fro... but really messy, really dirty, and really flat and obnoxious. But it looked really real, and I don't know where this wig is anymore either. But I always would wear it. I'd always be the mad scientist or something,
right?
And have this wig. And one time, I think I showed my graduation photo to people I worked with at Kelsey's at the time, and they're like, "It looks so real. It's ridiculous. I dare you to wear it one day at work." So I did.
So you did.
And I wore it my whole shift, and every table was like, "Wow, what the fuck's going on? Like, this is my sir." I looked obnoxious, but that was my graduation photo. No one caught on, and I have a photo. I'm in the freaking, and I looked, or it may have been for grade 11. I forget. It was one. Yeah. I had it on the student card thing. Yeah. So I let him borrow it, and then I don't know what happened, but
that's so funny.
Because I haven't talked to Derek. I know he's like Jehovah's Witness and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But I haven't that kind of just was the only thing.
Yeah.
Like I haven't really talked. I don't know where he is, which kind of sucks because we did everything. Yeah, in high school, and we had a ton of fun. It was hilarious, but
for sure,
he has it, and I can't get over. If you hear this, man,
I was gonna say, so Derek, if you hear this,
bring it back,
bring the shit back, man.
But I was dying, and I wanted to show more. But it's gone now. Yeah. Right? So, and all my high school videos too. Those are also all gone. Oh, I gotta find Mr. Stone.
Oh yeah, find him.
Chuck Stone.
Find him and
because he would be the last one that has him
for sure.
I'm pretty sure. But there's there 20 videos there. So
yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, Derek, find that. Come on, man. Let's see it.
I need to see. I need that wig again too. I don't know what the hell happened. Maybe. Maybe pest control came over when we had that raccoon situation.
Yeah, someone killed it.
Thought this was also an animal.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it for us. Thanks, guys, for listening. Thanks again. Thanks for listening on YouTube as well. I'm going to throw that out there. If you like the content, hit that subscribe button. We would appreciate it. Ring that bell, baby. Other than that, thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.
Take care.